Of course you are. Thank you very much. Okay, somebody has a question and go first. No? Okay, hello everyone. We have one person at Go Forest who wants to ask a question. Am I correct, or just say hello? Okay, hello there. Go Forest. Yeah. Okay. All right. How are you today? Yes, 6 has a question here.
Yeah, but Thầy, so lately in the mornings, after I do my meditation, I would do the 88 Buddha repentance. And I've been bowing after each Buddha name. But when we do the evening ceremonies here, I notice that we kneel and we just say the names. So should I change the way I practice it at home?
Either way works. The reason we make you kneel is to show sincerity, because it's difficult to kneel for 15 minutes. And if possible, you bow, that works too. That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Yes, in the back, 5.
Good evening, Master. This is Katrina. My question is, every time when I meditate, I easily fall asleep. And during 40, whenever I sit quietly, I also tend to fall asleep very quickly. And sometimes I feel like I'm even dreaming. So my question is, how can I increase the time of wakefulness, like extend the time being more aware and reduce the time of drowsiness?
Okay, that's a good question. No one else has that problem, right? She's the only one who has... No? No one. What a strange lady. I don't know, is you the only one who has a problem, so why should we try to solve it? No one else has this problem. What can you do? Okay, this is misconception from all of you about cultivation. Okay, cultivation is number one. The way our style of cultivation is to follow the assembly. Do what everyone else is doing. Okay, so that's the first thing. Number 2 is that you try your best to follow along, meaning that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. For example, sometimes you're too tired, too sleepy, then you have a hard time and you tend to doze off. Sometimes, more often for me, I'm bored. When I was doing this 4G at my master's temple initially, I was bored of my mind. I asked myself, what am I doing here? Saying the same thing over and over again, for what use, for what purpose? Okay, and it's so boring. How can anyone with a reasonably smart would be willing to do this? Let's face it. I'm in no hurry to go to the Pure Land. Who cares? Seriously. Yeah? And so my problem was worse than you. At least you fell asleep. My problem is I hated it. I was cursing everyone. What are you Chinese people doing? And forcing it upon down our throats. It's what a weird kind of training here. We're supposed to. This is kind of training we have to undergo. There's all sorts of strange things go on. That those thoughts that swirl around my mind. So, but anyway, so each one has his own challenges. Mine was that I couldn't wait to get out, and yours is you couldn't wait to doze off. So it is, and it's called cultivation. Cultivation. My definition of cultivation is different from others. The way I learned from my master's temple is that you're supposed to be a true cultivator. There's no such a thing as a true cultivator. The Chinese oversell it. Any Chinese people listening here? Cultivation actually is supposed to be a struggle. You struggle to do it better. First, you struggle to overcome your obstructions. And then once you overcome your obstruction, your current obstruction is to be sleepy, to doze off. You're probably bored. And you ask yourself, what am I doing here? And so forth. And among other reasons, you have worries. You have other more important things to worry about. Amazon has a Thanksgiving sale coming up, a big one very soon here, so we need to be ready for it, shouldn't we? I mean, the priorities in life, come on. And so I understand that we all have other higher priorities. However, as long as you're here, part of cultivation is not like you recite in the Buddha's name or you do it well and perfectly. Cultivation is to try your best and to what? Lawman. Never mind. Oh, you awake. 2, you're supposed to anticipate. Everyone.
Emitofuo, Master. Yesterday, too much thinking almost literally killed me. I got in a car accident.
How is it possible?
How is it? Who would have warned me? Yeah, and then I got in a car accident. I totaled my car.
You totaled your car yesterday?
Yeah.
And you're still alive?
Yeah. I hit my head against the steering wheel.
Insured. You have full coverage?
Something will work out. And then my question was like, afterwards, after it happened, like I was just so disappointed with myself. Like at a moment in which I thought I was going to die, I didn't say Emitofuo.
You said Emitofuo?
I didn't.
You
no.
didn't. Oh.
I know. And because I was too lost in thought already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do we better prepare ourselves for that moment?
How do you better prepare yourself for those moments? I don't know. I really don't know how to prepare for it. Okay? It's got to happen to more of you so that I can think of something. One person, you lose one, you win some, you lose some. You know? You can't win them all. I'm not greedy. Okay? If I can help 1 or 2, I'm happy. Okay? So how do you prepare for these moments? How? How do you prepare for the unexpected? You see, for him who's a control freak, he says, I want to be control everything of my life, of what I do, of my son's destiny, of my wife, and so forth. Yes? Huh? How do you control your destiny? Huh? How do you prepare for the unpreparable, the unexpected, the uncontrollable? You know, something you have to be resigned with is that you can't always control things that will happen to you. It's called karmic forces. There's nothing you can do. Even if you prepared for it, you can't do much either, most of the time. Okay? So what are you looking for when you talk about preparing for those moments? You mean like to recover from it, or to you can't be prepared for it? What can you do? I mean, you have to tell me what you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm looking for like to just in that moment, like just like, oh, I'm about, because I thought like, oh, I might get really hurt right now. That thought passed my mind, like, oh, I might get really hurt right now. Mm-hmm. And then like, but I didn't immediately go to Emitofuo. You know, like, so I was able to recognize in a split second that like, oh, like, you know, my life may change right now.
Mm-hmm. And then what did you do? You say, okay, my life might change right now. That's it?
And then I hit my head.
Then you hit your head?
Yeah, and that was it. And then I was fine.
My head looks okay.
Yeah. I had, my ear was ringing for a whole day, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking lawsuits.
Against me, yeah, maybe.
Okay. You trying to tell me something? You guys are so weird. Hey, I'm seeing this every single night, you know, all the strange things in front of my face. I'm trying to keep a straight face. See? Okay. The reason that yes, go ahead, 7.
Master, I just want to say sometimes you can't say Emitofuo in that moment. Like when I fell down and hit the bricks, it just happens because it was supposed to happen, and that's my obstruction, and that's your obstruction too.
Okay, and what did you do when it happened to you? When you fell on the stairs
fell down,
and really hit your hips and almost busted it? What did you do? What were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking about anything. It was just, it happened, and like,
so fast. Didn't have time to react.
No reaction. It was just
Bam, and then what?
The pain.
As soon as you came to, as soon as you could think, what did you do?
I see bricks in front of me, and I hear a customer asking weird questions, and I feel pain, and I think pain. Nothing I could do about it.
And what were you thinking? What were your thoughts when you were able to think? See, this guy thinks. I was wondering about you when you were hurt and you were in pain. What were you thinking? What was your first thought? You remember?
Actually, my first thought was that I wanted to go back to that van to finish my work, and I couldn't go back. I had to stop.
You could have rolled around.
It's like I knew that was it for me.
That's the end of the road for you?
For that day, yeah.
For that day. See, you Westerners are different. You're brought up differently. What would you do for the Asians? Yes, ma'am. She had a similar experience back there. A lady got into a very, very serious accident and almost lost her life.
Thưa thầy, cái hồi mà con bị accident á.
Don't zoom in.
Yeah, don't zoom in.
Okay.
Then at that moment, when I feel that they hit me, then I said, "What is this
Zoom in her face right there, the one in red.
I remember you said, say Quang Yin. So I said, Quang Yin, please help me, and I believe she helped me.
Oh, wow.
Because when I fell from up, actually the car hit me, I fly up there.
You flew up in the air, and then you say, "Want you in help," right? No?
No.
When you fell down,
No, before they just hit me, and I said, what is it?
as soon as you fell the car, you said, "Want you to help me?"
Yeah, I said, what's
That fast? Wow! I'm impressed.
because I remember you said that anytime.
When you were about to be hit by a car, you remember what I told you.
Yeah. So I said, Quang Yin, please help me, and then
Settle down.
and instead of my
Wow.
head, the ground and my shoulder.
Wow. And then you flew up in the air,
Yeah,
and then you landed on your head,
no, the shoulder.
on your shoulder.
Yeah, if
Wow.
I hit on my head, then that's it. No more.
Wow.
No more 4G for me.
No more 4G. Wow, how interesting.
But you told me, I mean, you not told us anytime.
I never thought of you as believing anything I say.
No, but suddenly I remember.
Wow, how interesting. You see?
Yeah, but suddenly I remember you said.
Wow, hey boys, that's called faith. Okay? And then, how do you think she helped you? How were you helped, you think?
I don't know.
You don't know?
And then I fell and I just really in pain. That's it. And I screamed like hell on the street.
Wow, okay. Well, we won't have any proof, but when you ask one for help, let me tell you what I believe. At that moment when she was about to be hit by the car and she knew it's coming, look at the instinct that she had at that moment. Say, wow, I'm going to get hurt, right? And then she remember what she's supposed to do. When you're in trouble, you train to ask for help. You really believe that moment there is very crucial. And if at that moment you ask for help, help comes. You ask Wan Yin for help, she came. She would come. You ask Amitabha for help, he'd come. I assure you. At that very moment there, you ask them for help, they'll come. You ask me for help, I'm busy. Remember that, okay? Okay? Don't ask me for help at all those moments. After, maybe, but not during that. I'd love to tell you when you're in trouble, like Master Shio, I said, when you're in trouble, call for help. Call me, recite my name for help. I said, seriously? If I want to recite your name, shouldn't I? Am I not better off reciting Wan Yin's name? Anyway, I'm a skeptic. So, anyway, so at that moment, I believed that she came and shielded you, okay, and helped a lot with your karmic retributions. That's why you still are able to walk around and still come to the 4G and so forth, okay? That moment right there, when you are in big trouble, you say, Wan Yin, please help, right there generates a tremendous amount of blessings that you can use for your own protection right there. Never mind about the previous recitation, that very moment, the moment of life and death, and you are able to remember to ask for help from the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, the real ones, okay? Not me, okay? That's when it really counts. Please remember that. Anything else, just remember to do that, and that's your best protection. Okay? At that moment, no amount of money can save you, no matter how smart you are, how rich you are. It doesn't matter. It's way beyond you. your karmic retribution comes calling, and it's nothing that you can do to protect yourself. That's when you ask for help. Okay? We all have those moments, folks, like it or not. You can't always be in control of our own lives. So I'm glad you two of you and the three of you shared your experiences. You men, okay, should learn to be better in those cases. Okay? The reason you're still around is because you got some medicine Master Buddha protection. Okay? So that's how you prepare for it. You've been preparing for these moments by accruing blessings. What kind of blessings? You're referring to the blessings about accidental deaths, for example. Okay? So these type of blessings will be activated at the right times. Okay? And then all the blessings that are included there are you get help. Okay? And then you can recover physically, and so forth. It's way beyond us, folks. Be humble. The world is a lot bigger than we are. We are really insignificant, truly, in the big scheme of things. Don't ever forget that. Be humble. Why? Because when you're humble, that's when you deserve to be helped. You're not humble, who cares for you? Seriously, you're not that important. We are not that important. I'm not that important. Trust me. Okay? They have better things to do than help us. Okay? There are plenty of people who are sincere, who deserve it. Whereas we are insignificant, we're so arrogant, we're so full of ourselves. All we can think of is ourselves. Okay? And so we get what we deserve, that's all. Okay? You prepare for those moments by accruing blessings, simply. Okay, even if you don't remember those moments, you say, "Oh, Emitofuo, help me," or "One Yin Bodhisattva, help me," or "Yaksha Rulai Yole," to help me. Your blessings there are your real shield right there at those moments. You don't even have to think. You don't even have to ask for help. You ask for help already beforehand. Does it make sense? Sounds good? See? All right, be humble. Trust me. You have to be humble. This is what we're hearing these stories that tells you how fragile life is, how helpless we can become in a split second. When you're so sure that you're in control of your life, that's when you hear these stories, and they realize that it could happen to any of us. We could lose control of our lives just like that. Okay, have a sixth question here. Power it up. You have to touch the bottom thing. The light should be on. There you go.
Dạ. Nguyện Quan Âm thì rất là nhiều trong cuộc đời của con, cũng có mấy lần được Quan Âm cứu giúp. Có một lần lúc con sanh đứa con thứ ba thì lúc đó con nhớ danh hiệu của Ngài và niệm cho đến lúc con đi lên đau bụng và lên bàn xanh. Thì lúc đó con mệt quá thì con xỉu, lúc đó con xỉu không biết gì hết trơn. Thì khi mà con ngất xỉu hầu như là chết lặng rồi thì tự nhiên con nhớ tới Đức Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát và con niệm danh hiệu của Ngài. Và sau đó trong đầu của con thấy được là giống như con nói là nếu mà con hết duyên thì cho con đi, mà nếu mà còn duyên thì để con ở lại để nuôi con á. Thì sau đó thì tiếng khóc con của con chào đời và con tỉnh dậy, con giật dậy, và lúc đó thân thể của con nó không còn cử động như xưa, như nó rất là mệt, giống như mình qua một cái lần chết đi á thầy. Một cái lần chết đi rồi sống trở lại.
nước của
Dạ.
Ok.
Dạ. Rồi có một lần con hay niệm chú Đại Bi. Thì đêm con ngủ tự nhiên con thấy trong phòng của con gió ập tới ào ào, giống như là đen thùi hết luôn, giống như là kiểu mấy cái âm binh nó tới thế này, ào 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 luôn. Thì lúc đó trong cái giấc ngủ của con á, thì con nhớ tới chú Đại Bi. Thì con niệm chú Đại Bi, con niệm đâu được mấy câu, chậm chậm thì tự nhiên là giông gió, những cái tối đen nó ập tới lên người con á, nó bắt đầu nó tan dần hết, và thấy hiện ra giống như là Đức Quan Âm hiện trước người của mình vậy đó. Là lúc đó con tỉnh dậy rất là nhẹ nhàng luôn. Đó là điểm thứ hai. Còn điểm thứ ba nữa là lúc con bị té cầu thang gãy chân cũng vậy. Khi mà con bước xuống té gãy chân nó rất là đau. Nhưng mà con nhớ danh hiệu Ngài, rồi con lại nhớ tới là tự nhiên con có khởi một cái lòng mà sám hối. Là con tự nhiên vậy là con thoạt lên, con nhớ là ngày xưa chắc mình cũng có làm ai bẻ đau như thế này nè. Cho nên bây giờ giống như là mình bị trả một cái nghiệp á, thì con cảm thấy được nhẹ nhàng sau cái cơn đau đó mà cái chân con gãy, nhưng mà con rất là hoan hỷ, cũng như trả được một cái nghiệp chướng của mình vậy đó. Dạ, A Di Đà Phật.
Emitofuo, Master. So in my life, throughout my life, I have been recite Kuan Yin Bodhisattva a lot of time. And there's many times that I felt that I received help from her. One time I was giving birth to my third child, and I was about to be on the bench, and I was about to deliver my children, and somehow I passed out. And at that time, I don't know what happened. So in those moments, I remember about Kuan Yin, and then I recite her name. And at that moment, I told myself that if my condition has come to an end, please, Kuan Yin, allow me to leave. And if I still have condition, please allow me to stay so that I can take care of my children. So at that moment, all of a sudden, I heard my third child cry, and all of a sudden, my body changed. It's like you are passed through the gate of death, and so everything changed in me. And there's one time that I have been reciting Great Compassion mantra. So during that night, when I fall asleep, I realized that in my room there's a lot of wind coming at me very loudly, and as if there's an invisible troop that come over and invade me in my dream. So even in my dream, I was able to remember to recite a Great Compassion mantra. So I recited several lines, and somehow the big wind become smaller and disappear. And I felt that Kuan Yin Bodhisattva was sitting on top of me, and all of a sudden my body become very light and delightful, and I wake up from that. And the third time is when I fell down and I hurt my legs. It's very painful, but all of a sudden in my mind, it gives rise to the thought of repentance. I told myself that maybe in the past I have been breaking people's legs. That's why right now it was so painful and sore. And it is like a way that I repay my karmic offenses. So in my heart, I feel very light and happy, even though my body is very painful. But at that moment, I felt as if my karma has been paid off. Emitofuo.
That's interesting. We hear a lot of such responses from the people who believe in the Wanyin Dharma doors. It's, throughout Asia, there's just countless such beautiful stories. Okay, it's predicated upon the fact that they believe in these Dharma doors. And another way that, based on her story there, that you also prepare for it, these unpredictable moments, is to recite. Okay, like today, we get together and recite the Buddha's name. We're doing Wanyin Chi, we recite Wanyin's name, or we recite it during the repentances, or during our daily lives. And that's how you prepare for these unforeseen occurrences. Okay, and also a thought also came to mind as well when I heard of it, is that Wanyin helps us in more ways than you think, or the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas help us in more ways than you think. It's not simply like they prevent you from getting hurt or gain something. Part of the help is to help you open your wisdom, help you understand. For example, she said the moment she realized that I'm getting this because of my retribution, that is part of the help right there. Does it make sense? Okay, because otherwise you don't understand this. You continue to create more offenses. You get hurt more often. You see, that's part of the help. Oh. All right, very good. Is there any questions or comments here? 9.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all the YouTube subscribers and all the online viewing right now going on. I have a question from Nacho. Question from Nacho.
Thought he's in Hawaii already, no? I thought he went to Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Hawaii, the land of pineapples. Never mind, and mosquitoes. You been to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Too many mosquitoes. Go ahead.
Nacho asks he added something. Okay. It's Emitofuo Master. A few weeks ago, my grandma's aunt died. I want to help her to reborn at least as a human, but her 49 days period is in the middle now. Which plaque will help her more? Two rebirth plaque for 1 month, or the 4 weeks chi plaque? Thank you, Emitofuo Master. And he added some more. She didn't suffer when dying. I think she was still aware of everything. I'm not sure about the details, but she is a far relative. Also, thank you.
A what? A farm relative?
A far relative. Far relative.
So does it matter?
Just that.
Okay, I hear you. You have to tell me everything. Tell me what you want. Okay. So a distant relative, not far relative. Far is like in Argentina. Okay, a distant relative. So if bad things happen to her, we don't need to hear about it, that kind of thing. Okay, fine.
Okay. He also said thank you to you and the Sangha and the Dharma family and WMT for hosting me. I appreciate a lot all your effort in helping us. Emitofuo. Yes, I'm in Hawaii. Haha.
I hope the mosquitoes eat you alive. I'm so jealous. They have pineapple, okay, and what else? What else do you have that's very good for fruits over there? Pineapple, and that's the fruit there. Papaya. Oh well. I don't know why I'm thinking of food tonight. Never mind. So it's a distant relative, so it doesn't matter at all. So he doesn't even have to do anything. It seems to me that she's going back to the human realm. Okay, so don't waste your money. It doesn't matter anyway, so. Okay, next question. Yes, sir, in the back. 4.
Emitofuo, Master. I'm Plato. Usually I join other Buddhist community to do volunteer work. I just wonder, is that okay for me?
Absolutely. You do anything to help others. Other Buddhist temples, other Christian temples, Catholic temples, charity organization, orphanages, whatever you can help, it's a good thing to do. Okay? Don't discriminate so much. Okay? If you have a chance to help, help. Anyone else? Yes, 1.
I wanna share my story related with you, Master. So, 5 years ago, I visited this temple as just a visitor. That time, I would like to sit longer, so Venerable Shenshun helped me. But that time,
the same one there?
yeah.
Okay. 5 years ago, okay.
So I tried to.
It's good to hear the good stories about her, so thank you.
So I said, tried 1 more hour, 2 more hours, and then Venerable Shenshun encouraged me, and then I sit longer and longer, but eventually, finally, I couldn't endure. So I almost died, I feel like. So I couldn't open my eyes, couldn't open my mouth. This is so painful. So I asked help, Venerable Shenshun. So please help me like this. And the Venerable Shenshun told me, no, I cannot help you. You can ask.
Sounds like her. Yeah, that's her. Definitely.
You can ask Great Master YongHua. You can ask Master YongHua like this. So I listen. Oh, really? Okay. Please help me like this. And then immediately, maybe I got the response from you and Great Master YongHua. The meaning is, the pain is the worse than before. Strong, super power, painful things came to me.
I'm a lot more compassionate, much
But the things that happened, the reason why I think at that time I felt I entered the samadhi. I think so. I could endure more and more. So that time, I said longer.
Very good. In the future, yes, go ahead. What do you have to say for yourself?
Master, the reason why I couldn't help her because it was her first time and she sat for over 10 hours. I think 11 or 14 hours.
That's crazy.
And she wanted to quit.
It's
so
crazy.
I said, don't ask me for help.
Yeah, no, you don't do that. For the first time, it's crazy. You're going to get hurt, they're going to sue us. Okay, for future reference, I want to make it clear to all of you. Okay, cut it out. Don't ask me for help. What are you doing? Call Wan Yin. Call Amitabha, call anyone else, okay? It works so much better. If she did, she would have no pain and would probably be enlightened already. Okay, very good. It's interesting. seems like today's theme is brings to mind. Today's theme is that related to, maybe you should bring it up in the Pure Land Dharma door context. Okay, why do we call ourselves American Pure Land and not Chinese Pure Land? One of the major differences that I see in the Asian Pure Land approach and ours is that the Asian Pure Land is more of Hinayana Pure Land. Meaning what? They are primarily concerned with helping themselves. They recite a Buddha's name in order to go to the Pure Land. That's all they care about. I want to go to Pure Land. That's it. So they practice reciting Buddha's name, and they work so hard, day and night, year after year, decade after decade, just for themselves to go to the Pure Land. That's Asian Pure Land. Agree, disagree. Those who have been practicing it for a long time, that's all they care about. I want to go to Pure Land. I desperately want to go to the Pure Land. That's all I care about. And that's called, I call Hinayana Pure Land, because that's all you care about. Only care about yourself. And that's the Pure Land Dharma door, absolutely, because that's also what Master YongHua has been teaching them. And I can't wait to eventually go to his teachings and listen and learn more about how he trained his disciples, about the Pure Land Dharma door, what he felt is important for the people at the time to know. Okay, but it seems to me that as I listen to all the teachers, his disciples, and the other Pure Land teachers, they all have the same theme. They said that I desperately want to go to the Pure Land. I do anything to go to the Pure Land. Okay, and that's called Hinayana Pure Land, because you're doing it for yourself. And because of that, it's very dangerous, because that's all you're doing. Be careful about what you wish for. You wish to go Pure Land alone at the exclusion of everyone else, it will happen eventually, naturally. But that's all that's going to happen. And that's why I don't want to call what we do Pure Land, or Asian Pure Land, or Chinese Pure Land, or Vietnamese Pure Land, or Korean Pure Land, or whatever you want to call it, Japanese Pure Land. Okay, it's all the same theme. You go to Japan, the wife, the emperor, she would recite the Buddha's name, Amida Buddha's name, and just to go to Pure Land herself. And she did. Okay? And some of her servants did. Ladies in waiting also did. Go to the Pure Land according to their scriptures. But that's about it. Because they got there because they believe in reciting the Buddha's name. And you do that, yes, you will go to the Pure Land yourself eventually. Okay? But that's a low form of Pure Land Dharma door. That doesn't interest me at all. So what's the difference? It's because if that's all you taught, and that's what you put your mind to practice, then that's all you're going to get out of it. Because you set your goals too low. Because your teachers don't really understand how to really help you go to the Pure Land. Pure Land Dharma door has two different parts: self-help and others' help. Okay? This is what differentiates Pure Land from Chan and the other schools. Because Pure Land is the things where you can get others' help. Whereas in the other schools, you cannot. Pure Land actually excels at getting others' help. And so that's why I find deplorable the Asian Pure Land approach is really, really incomplete. Okay? Because, and again, I could be proven wrong, but eventually after I go through his teachings here, all Master Hsuan Pure Land teaching, I hope to be able to do that with you. We study his teachings together. And I hope I'll be wrong. Because at this moment so far, I feel that that's all he's teaching. He's teaching his disciples about self-help, not others' help. And that's very important for you as you stick with us and learn about the Pure Land Dharma door. I want you to keep in mind that eventually a big part, at least 50% of the Pure Land Dharma door is others' help. If you learn about only self-help, you're only learning half of it, or even less than half of it. Okay? And it's unfortunate because I understand his reason for doing it, because Buddhism is new to the U.S. He's new to the U.S. He's unproven, and he has no support, not much support, and so forth. And therefore, he needs to choose what he said carefully to those limited students of his. Many of them were Caucasians who didn't believe even what he was talking about, self-help, let alone others' help. So yes, I understand it. But it's no excuse for my generation to stop at it. Okay? At this and say, this is all the Pure Land Dharma door is about. No, it isn't. The Pure Land Dharma door is a Dharma door of compassion. Amitabha Buddha wants to bring you to his Pure Land for your sake, in order to help you, in order to take care of you, to make sure you'll be okay forever until you become a Buddha. That's his wish. That's why he built the Western Bliss Pure Land. Okay? But you as practitioners, therefore, are trained to do what it takes, what would optimize your chances of going to see the Buddha yourself. Okay? But it's an act of compassion. It's a Dharma door of compassion. He says, you're suffering so much, and now you're too preoccupied with your lives, earning a living, taking care of your family, taking care of your financial future, and so forth. Yes, that's understandable. Okay, but at some point in time, you have other considerations that are important to you, like your aunt who just died, or your uncle who just died, or your grandfather who died. Okay, and so the Pure Land Dharma door is supposed to be able to help them as well. Okay, that's others' help. Okay, so this is what I find. I hope that I won't go to the hells for doing these things. I'm no patriarch, so I'm sticking my neck out doing these things because I feel it's necessary. Okay, just because people are doing it doesn't mean that they're right. They may be right in China, in Asia, to do it that way, but here in the U.S., I feel we are a lot more compassionate than that. Okay. We care for others. This is why we're doing this. not to benefit ourselves alone, but it's about making a difference with our lives. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. I've been thinking about this for some time, and I appreciate you talking about this topic. I wanted to express my sincere gratitude to you.
I thought YouTube.
I have gratitude for our YouTube audience as well.
Of course. Ching.
Master, I remember many years ago, early on, one of our first questions at Blue Mountain Temple was, how can we help others? And your response was, you idiots can't even take care of yourselves. How are you going to...
I did?
Please don't quote me directly, but...
Doesn't sound like me. Xiansheng, did it sound like me back then at Blue Mountain Temple? Don't answer that.
And it's been an amazing journey drawing near to you over these many years, and I'm so thankful. I don't know how it happened. I couldn't tell you when or what changed, but my experience has been at times, when I've lost my job, I've become overwhelmed. I can't. It's all I can think about.
Is that the job I advise you to take? And to make, knowing that you probably would struggle a lot, is that the same one?
There's been occasions that was one of the jobs, yeah.
I see. Okay.
But just to share, and if it helps anyone to hear, this year I worked very hard, and I had a long contract that came to an end at the end of September, and the day after my contract ended on a Saturday morning, I had to help with an emergency that happened that took some time. I've had to help my parents work through their difficulties, which has taken a lot of effort. I've been able to help a long-time family friend who needs financial and just emotional support. And I just wanted to express my gratitude because I recognize that 8 years ago that wouldn't have been possible for me to do. I don't know exactly how or when it changed, but it feels like more like the thing to do now without thinking about it. So I just wanted to say thank you for however you've helped me to get to that point.
Very nice. It's because you're richer. You're willing to help because you can afford it. You have things that you don't need, in other words. Yes? On a very practical level, you're willing to help, but also you're able to help. Okay? So that's why we're doing this. But the point is that we do all these things in order, especially Pure Land Dharma Door, is in order to help, to have a means to help the people we care and that are important to us. Okay? And that's what I find to be lacking in the Asian approach of Pure Land Buddhism. So please, don't be impressed or affected by the references. This Chinese master says so and so. I don't care. Even if the first patriarch, Chinese patriarch, says otherwise, I wouldn't care less, because I look at the results they have right now. They are still not taking full advantage of Amitabha's Dharma Door is here in order for you to take advantage of others' help. Okay? And the reason you're not taught of it is because your teachers cannot help. Let's call a spade a spade. This is the truth. They don't know how to help. Master YongHua, that's why I'm very curious curious to learn more about his Pure Land teachings here that we have access to, because I know he can help as well. I don't know why. It baffles me why the Chinese patriarchs did not put more emphasis on others' help. Why is that? To the point right now, in my generation, at his temples, they're not allowed to do the 49-day service. It's scary. Okay? Let alone for them to teach Pure Land Dharma door. You can't help others. How can you possibly teach Pure Land Dharma door? It's strange. Anyway, so with the time we have together, I hope that someday you will get beyond the self-help. First, you have to learn to help yourself, to go to the Pure Land. And then after that, you can go a lot further by learning to help others go to the Pure Land. This is what the Pure Land Dharma door is about. It's not about yourself alone. You do anything and desperately just to go to the Pure Land. That's hidden yang thinking. To me, it's unacceptable. It's not good enough. Okay? I reject that. Personally. I don't care who the teacher is. Okay? Yes, 9.
Question from Sarah. Master, how can we help others if we ourselves still have a lot of afflictions and struggles?
Well, you have to first learn to help yourself. It's not talk. You have to learn to help yourself so that you are able not to cause problems to others. If as long as you cannot help yourself, you're a burden to others. You can say, I love you and I will give my life for you, but you still are a burden to others. You cannot help yourself. Okay? So part of helping others, the first step, is to stop being a burden for them by learning how to take care of yourself. Okay? That's the first minimal step, that you are not a burden. And then, in order to learn to help others, it's a lot more difficult. It's a long, long road after you're able to help yourself. Much bigger, much more difficult. So that's why you need. And that's why most of these teachers don't understand, because they cannot even help themselves, especially the Pure Land teachers. They think that it's so easy because you guys don't know better, you cannot tell. So since I'm a newly ordained monk, I need to make a living, I need to support myself, build a temple, and make a name for myself. Okay, and since it's real popular, everyone wants to go to the Pure Land, so I read up on the Pure Land and teach you about Pure Land. Okay, that's nonsense. I'm hoping to set a new standard in the future. If you don't, you have to be pure about it. You're gonna help yourself. Shut up. Don't teach Pure Land. Okay? Because you are providing a wrong guidance. For example, Jing Kung cannot help himself. He's too afflicted. Okay? And you should know better. And it's a shame to me. He's a good monk. He's a pure monk, but he's caught up in trying to help others and when he cannot. You have to be honest with yourself. If you cannot help yourself, learn to help yourself first. And then once you are able to help yourself, And then it's a much longer trip before you're able to help others. So, to be truthful, the Pure Land Dharma door has a much bigger range than the Chan Dharma door. Okay, from our generation, for our times, Chan Dharma door go from low to very high, but the Chan people cannot help others get to the Pure Land. Okay, this is one of the biggest issues of our times. What happens after we die? People are too preoccupied with their current lives instead of planning for the future lives. It's because they don't have enough information about the future lives, and even if they did, they wouldn't know what to do. Okay? And so the Chandama door, you can go to enlightenment, high-level enlightenment, but the Pure Land Dharma door, in order for you to help others, it's even higher than that. Okay, so that's why the Asian Pure Land masters, except for a few, they don't put a lot of emphasis. And again, I plead ignorance. Okay, I don't know a lot. Okay, I'm not a scholar or things, so I wish I were Chinese and could read up on Master YongHua, who is a transformation body, Amitabha Buddha. I wish I were able to read Chinese, very fluent in it, so that I could read Master YongHua, who is a transformation body of Great Strength Bodhisattva, and find out what they did to train their disciples. Because it's it's not easy to be able to help others. This is why the Asian Pure Land teachers, they don't know how to teach the helping others part of the Pure Land Dharma door. Just because you're famous, just because you're a Chan master, doesn't mean you can handle it. Doesn't mean you understand how to help others to the Pure Land. Okay, and so I challenge you. I'm bring this up because I want to challenge you that if you really want to make a difference, then you have to go very far on this Pure Land Dharma door. You have to work very hard. Okay? All right. Any questions or comments? Yes, 9.
From Cordelia. Master, I feel I depend on Master and the Sangha too much. Whenever I want to help others, I just send them to Master's way. I feel I'm using up too much of Master's blessings, but I hope to continue to do what I've been doing, but feel free to reject me. Emitofuo.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. We will work on ourselves and help ourselves to go to Pure Land, but that eventually, finally, may take many lifetimes. So I'm curious, is there a way to, over a Dharma door, to let us take a look at how Pure Land looks like? I'm curious by the Emitofuo Sutra says the lotus flower in the pool is as big as a carriage is well. So I think take a look at Pure Land will really encourage me more. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, your wish is quite commonplace. A lot of people would like to see it too. They'd like to say, can I get more information that will help reinforce my faith? Okay, that's reasonable for you. But it doesn't work like that in Pure Land Buddhism. Why not? Because you're not important enough for the Buddha to feel necessary to convince you that the Pure Land Dharma door is so and so. That's a blunt truth. Even if you're an emperor, you're not important enough. Think about it. How much is the emperor worth? How much you think it would cost for you to go from here to the Pure Land? No emperors could afford it, just for the airfare. No such technology right now. So you need to know your place, to be blunt about it. Okay? You can wish you want this, you want that, but do you deserve this or not? That's a true question. Okay? I don't know how else to put it to you. It's not, the only one who thinks like that. A lot of people think like that. I need facts, I need proof, I need something to help me. Please help me. Okay? It's your request, it's reasonable. However, you're not the first one, you will not be the last one either. Maybe someday it will happen. But so far, Buddhas, especially Amitabha Buddha, especially Guanyin Bodhisattva, especially Great Strength Bodhisattva, the three sages from the Pure Land who wish and will be glad to welcome you to their Pure Land, don't feel it's necessary to do it at all for a reason. What reason is that? You're not important enough. I just told you. Okay? It's unreasonable when you think about it. Okay, I'm going to sound like the Taiwanese temple there. Don't go there. because it's predicated. What is the first requirement for rebirth? Faith. Faith is something that you have to work on yourselves. If we have to help you, okay, then it's our faith, not your faith. That's the nature of faith. Nature of faith is developed by you, and we don't need to help you at all. Okay? If we were to help you in a slightest way, then it's not the pure faith for you, meaning that you will never make it to the upper grade. I help you in any way develop your faith in the Pure Land Dharma door, okay? You can never make it the upper grade. So what do you want? This is a compromise that Buddhas have to decide. If they help you develop your faith at all, with an iota amount only, okay? Then your rebirth rate will suffer. So there's trade-offs. Okay? Yeah. And so for the people who do not have enough blessings, then it's not a problem. They can find ways to help their faith in other ways than simply seeing. Helping you develop faith is possible, but it's not the way you think. Okay? We get help in developing faith for the Pure Land Dharma door. A lot of help. But it's not the way you think. That's point number 2. We get help in developing faith because we know that you cannot go up there. So it's the compromise that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have to decide is that, okay, at least I bring you to safety so that your children don't have to worry about you anymore. That's an act of compassion. Okay? But that kind of help there, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas help you in a way that you don't know. That's how they help. Because this is not a sales pitch. If we help you and you understand, then we're selling ourselves. Think about it. You see the problem with your request, the nature of your request? It's very worldly. It's like transactional. Do this for me so that I believe in you. Okay? It doesn't work like that. Yes, 9.
Burke Demercy asking, Burke says, thank you, Master. How long do I have to stay in the Buddha recitation samadhi to be reborn?
You only have to enter it once. You can attain rebirth eventually yourself. Second question. Another question? Yes, sir. 8.
Master, I was here on Saturday for 6 hours and Sunday for 6 hours. And I felt very different when I got home. Like my mind was very peaceful and calm.
No.
It was. It was. And
you're pulling my leg. That's impossible.
But here is the...
We are afflicted. No, we're very afflicted here.
Today at my workplace, I felt like I don't have any motivation to do the work. And
that's right.
And I was very edgy to my coworkers. And I didn't feel like I wanted to really talk to them at all.
Yeah.
And
losers. Seriously. Is that how you felt? You're a bunch of losers. No.
I just really want to know, like, is that how others feel too?
Tell him. This guy's something else. His questions are always interesting. Yeah? Tell him. Share your experience with him. Yes, 8.
I sometimes feel that way too. But Master helped me. And I also remind myself, don't stay in that state for too long.
I did? Wow. Anyone else? Yes, 9. You guys are strange.
Yeah, but so before I started coming to your temple and meditating more, I used to take the elevator up to my classroom, but now I take the stairs just to avoid people.
And you're a teacher, right? Our children are in good hands. Anyone else? Huh? That's exactly what I was referring to. You missed the part where I told them to go out to the Taiwanese temple here, which is half a block away. And they actually went, these traders. I cannot believe these Taiwanese people. I said, go check out the Taiwanese temple. They said, really? Really? Can you? I said, yeah, you can. And they went. And my pitch to them is that That's how I train my monks and nuns, because they will experience moments of bliss and peace, and then they then go out to the supermarket or go to get some gas or go run an errand for the temple. And they go back into this chaos, and you meet these people who are so afflicted. You wouldn't believe, when I first started, I was meditating and so happy every day, a lot happier than you are, trust me. So happy, I was grinning from year to year. Okay, and then I had to go buy some stuff for my computer. So I went to this what's that place called? It went belly up. Price what? Huh? Fries. Thank you. Yeah. I'm getting old. Fries. And I found this little bit of cable, whatever it was, and I stood in line and quietly and peacefully and happy, oblivious to everything. And I went up to the cashier. She looked at me and said, "God will save you." I said, "Say what?" Took me out of my samadhi right away. And I asked him, who asked him? Who asked God? Who asked you? But anyway, and that's how it is. I used to be afflicted too. I say, I don't want to come out anymore, especially after you stay at the temple and don't go out, okay, for a few days, a week or 2 weeks. You go out, it is so chaotic. It is so noisy up here, okay? And that's annoying. It's so annoying. It's I don't feel like going out anymore, okay? And that's normal. That's a natural part of the training, because that's the middle way. You have to be able to choose. Middle way is you learn to choose. The times where you're peaceful, the times you need to endure the chaos. Why is that? This is your retribution. Okay? You owe it to mommy. Huh? Mommy said, "I love you. Don't get married. I don't want to share you with another woman." Sounds familiar? Yeah? Okay? She would never admit it, but or the same thing. You feel that I love my mom so much, I don't want to share, my feelings with another person, and so forth. I know what you mean. My mom used to be number one too. Anyway, sometimes we're weak. What can you do? So part of the process of cultivation is to develop the skills for you to experience the peace and the bliss. Okay? And that's a luxury that you have. But there's realities where you have commitments to your family, to your co-workers, to others. Okay? We have commitments. And therefore, we must fulfill those commitments. Okay? And ordinary people let those commitments control them. Okay? They are slaves. They're victim to those commitments. Cultivation is a process that helps you develop the skills for you to choose to take a break from that, to restore your balance. So that's what you're learning. Okay? These people spend hours here and they bring this bliss here, and a peace here, and you feel good. And that's a wonderful gift for yourself. No one can give you. Okay? And then you have to, find a balance between that. And that's life. Okay? We live in society. We have obligations. We cannot ignore those obligations. Yes, Colombia, too.
Thank you, Master. Sometimes when I go to work and I've spent time in the temple, people notice it, and it kind of you share that with them also, that calmness and that stillness. I really like go work because I feel like I share that with other people, and I see they are suffering, and it's like a relief for them too.
Absolutely. One of the things you do, is that those moments of bliss you experience while cultivating actually are transformative. It helps relax you, helps open your heart. Okay, if you spend your life developing your brains up here only, okay, your heart shrinks. You know that? But that's what your doctors are not telling you. You develop here, the brains grows bigger. Therefore, it has a ticket from the heart, so the heart shrinks a little bit so that you don't gain weight. That's my explanation. Okay? So what happens to people when they develop the brains? Then actually they're neglecting this. And the secret to success in life is to strike a balance between the two. Okay? And ordinary people are taught to develop here intellectually, but they're not taught how to develop their hearts. Okay? You go to the non-Buddhist religions, Hinduism or yoga or Tai Chi or Taoisms and so forth, and Catholicism, they begin to help you develop the heart, but not go far enough. And that's why your true potentials are unrealized. Your heart is an incredible, beautiful thing that you should mind. And that's what people are not taught, unfortunately. It's a shame. Because you know how to work your heart, okay? And mind your heart. That's true happiness. You will discover. Here will not give you true happiness, will not give you true meaning. You need both. Here is imbalance. Okay? Too much heart is imbalance as well. That's Hinayana. Okay? They say, I don't care. Me. It has to be both. Yes, sir, too.
Thank you, Master. Yeah, on good days, when I'm in like those feelings, and somebody approaches me and they're not doing well, or they're trying to antagonize me, I just get this overwhelming feeling like, oh wow, you're suffering so much and there's nothing you can do about it. And I don't really feel, I should feel bad for them, but that's what I feel.
No, I want to caution people like you about this. You have this problem you have to be careful about. When you reason like that to yourself, you are intellectualizing it, you're rationalizing it. It's not honest. Let me tell you what really happened. It has happened. Would you like to hear? If you want to help others, the first requirement is that they cannot afflict you. So when they come to you, and let's say your wife comes to you, I like to use example of wives, but actually it's husbands nowadays because men are weak. They should be wearing skirts, and you should be wearing pants. And you do wear pants. What happened to skirts nowadays? Huh? I don't see you wearing skirts anymore. Anyway, how do we get there again? Sexism? So the point, where was I?
You were saying I was stealing my wife's skirts? No, I was saying that when I see people who are antagonizing me, I see them as they're suffering, and you said it's too intellectual.
It's too intellectual. You say you rationalize, oh, they're suffering, therefore I should forgive them. Baloney! That's not helping. That's not being truthful. You simply are justifying to yourself, rationalizing to yourself, making excuses. That's all. And that's not very healthy. You really want to help others. Like when your wife comes and nags you, okay? You should not be afflicted at all. No thought comes through your head. It's a woman anyway. If I pick on women and you sit, the people on you, here he goes again. He's so sexist. Those are losers. The true people who really are God made is that they look at me and say, oh, he's an idiot. Naturally, without thinking. They don't get afflicted. They say, oh, he's just an idiot. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay? I'm provoking you. Because when I provoke you and you say, oh, I disagree with you. Oh, how can you be so sexist? How can you be, aren't you supposed to be a monk? Okay? You fail. Ha, ha, ha. I'm only provoking you. Got that? So, you rationalize your tendencies. Oh, of course, I know better. I should know better. The true reaction is you're not afflicted at all. Like a kid coming to you and nag you as if you're a kid. I don't have to take you seriously. See? It doesn't bother me. I don't need to rationalize. I say, okay, I tell you what, let me give you some candies without thinking. That's true freedom. That's true self-control. Don't need to rationalize. You don't need to explain to yourself, oh, he's a loser. Got that? And that's the beginning of being able to help. Anyone else? Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master Morelli. I just wanted to say thank you for asking if anybody else experienced that. That's a really good question.
Never happened to you, right?
Happened to me all the time. And I don't know if I was thinking I would describe it as armor. During that job, Master, that you told me to take, that I should never have taken because I was going to fail miserably, I had to deal with a lot of difficult people all the time. Mm-hmm. And what helped me, I wasn't in a position, Morelli, where I could not say hello. Mm-hmm. I was in a position where if someone came to me, I had to interact with them. So count your blessings. But something that helped me a lot was in the back of my mind, I would say, well, this person didn't cross their legs this weekend. I know what real pain is. And it kind of put in perspective for me the social anxiety I would feel, or the discomfort I would feel from not wanting to interact with someone who was stabbing me in the back or insulting me openly in front of my peers. And I found a way to make kind of a little bit of a game about it, where if you can plant the seed of a positive interaction early in the week, my week would go better. So you could find a safe topic like, good morning, and just keep it that simple. And if the conversation progressed beyond that, you could just say, how was your weekend? And you keep very safe topics, but each of those little seeds that I planted helped my week go easier with each of those people that I was able to have a reasonable, positive interaction with, just to share.
Yeah, they're counter moves that the people use. But basically, in those situations, what you ought to do is accept you're afflicted and cross your legs, or listen to sutras, or listen to mantras, or something. Don't stay there. Don't stay afflicted. And you endure it, and eventually you become tougher and won't be afflicted anymore. That's all. It takes drills. Okay? We all have to go through that. You're not the only one. All right, anyone else? Yes, 7.
Master, I wanted to share my experience with Fo Chi. With the first time I took Fo Chi seriously, I went to DTT, and I went there so I wouldn't get pulled away, so I could follow the schedule for a good 3 days on vacation from work.
Fo Chi, 7 days.
Oh, I only got 3 days off of work or whatever happened.
Okay.
This was 2 years ago, so
Yeah.
I was at the airport, and I remember seeing a couple in front of me, and I remember them because they were into music or something. But I saw the same couple on the way back at the next airport. But I mean, I went through the Fo Chi, followed the schedule, and then I was able to notice a difference in my energy and the way I looked and the way I felt. My mind calmed down. So then I saw the same people, and I noticed on the way back they were totally drained. And I know I'm discriminating, I have energy and you have energy, but it was just a good experience. So at the beginner level of Fo Chi, because some people, it's their first Fo Chi, and I just wanted to congratulate them for having the blessings to be here and share that's a good experience. And since then, I go out of my way to try to attend Fo Chi as much as possible. Thanks.
Excellent. Along that line, usually for the Fo Chi, it looks casual, it looks kind of lighter than the Chan Chi, but this is why typically it takes even people with skills 1 day before they get into gear. For him, it takes 5-6 hours, 3 days in a row. Okay, usually for someone to go to attend the Fo Chi, they do it 1 day. Okay, if they have skills, they should be able to feel the peace and the bliss. If not, it would take up to 3 or 4 days. Okay, and then it gives you, it will bring you to this place where you feel very peaceful, very blissful. Okay, that's a samadhi right there. Okay, that is a blessing, is a gift. Because you know where there's a well, and you can go there and draw upon it when you need to. Okay? Ordinary people do not have that knowledge, don't have that option. Okay, nowadays here, you are so skilled, and your skill level is so high, and the people here are so strong that it's a lot easier for you to experience the peace and the bliss than otherwise. All right? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, if not, then let's do the great transference.